If you're dealing with long COVID, you know just how frustrating it can be. So today, we're going to cut through all the noise and break down a new, structured way of thinking about it, a strategy that's actually showing some real promise. We're going to get into not just why you feel this way, but what you can realistically do about it.
I mean, this is the big question, isn't it? The one millions of people are asking themselves. You got through the initial illness, but months, even years later, that crushing fatigue, the brain fog, all these other weird symptoms, they just refuse to leave. You're not alone in this. It is a massive global health issue, and what you're feeling is very real.
And here's the reality that so many of you know all too well. You try a new supplement you heard about, and nothing happens. You go to another doctor, and you get the same vague, unhelpful answers. It's just this exhausting and honestly demoralizing cycle of trial and error.
So why? Why do so many treatments and attempts to get better just seem to fall flat? It's not because your symptoms aren't real. It's because the approach is often missing the bigger picture.
Okay, this right here is the absolute key to understanding everything. Long COVID isn't just a lung thing or a brain thing. It's a multi-system breakdown. Think of it like a cascade of dominoes. One thing goes wrong, and it triggers a chain reaction that affects the whole body. Poor circulation in your legs could be causing your brain fog. It is all connected in one big, tangled web.
So, let's start piecing this puzzle together. The first step is to really understand why you feel the way you do. Why are all these symptoms so persistent and, so interconnected?
This chart gets right to the heart of the problem. Most people, and even doctors, are using a single solution approach. They're trying to fix one symptom at a time. But that doesn't work. You might take something for inflammation, but that does nothing to fix your circulation. It's like trying to fix one dead leaf on a sick tree. You have to address the roots. And that's why a multi-target strategy is really the only way forward. Okay, so if we need a strategy that hits multiple targets, what exactly are those targets? Well, let's dive into the 3 core problems that research now shows are creating this vicious cycle that keeps people sick. Researchers have honed in on these 3 main things. First, immune dysfunction. Your immune system's basically stuck in overdrive. It's on high alert, creating inflammation everywhere. Second, viral persistence. There's evidence that little fragments of the virus might be hiding out in your tissues, constantly poking and prodding your immune system. And third, and this is a huge one, microclots and poor circulation. Tiny blood clots are forming, gumming up the works in your smallest blood vessels and basically starving your tissues of oxygen.
And here's the kicker. These 3 problems aren't separate. They feed each other. The lingering viral bits trigger the messed up immune system. That haywire immune system then creates inflammation and those microclots. The microclots block oxygen, which causes symptoms like fatigue and brain fog, which puts more stress on the body, which keeps the whole cycle going. You see? It's a self-reinforcing loop that is incredibly hard to break out of. Okay, so that's the problem. It's a nasty, self-fueling cycle. So how in the world do we break it? Well, you need a solution that systematically takes apart each piece of that cycle. And that brings us to a 5-part, 5-pillar protocol designed to do exactly that. So let's be super clear. This is not about finding one magic pill. It's about a smart, coordinated 5-part strategy designed to work together to systematically bring your body back into balance.
Pillar 1 is your foundation. You have to calm the system down first. I mean, you can't rebuild a house while it's still on fire, right? The whole goal here is to get your immune system to take a breath and get out of that chronic, overactive state. And that starts with the fundamentals: deep, restorative sleep, and a diet that actually fights inflammation instead of fueling it. Pillar 2 is all about removing that constant trigger. If those viral fragments are the ones constantly poking your immune system, we need to help the body clean them up. This pillar focuses on strategies that support your body's natural cleanup crew to reduce that constant source of irritation. Now, Pillar 3. For so many people, this one is an absolute game changer. It's all about breaking down those tiny clots to get blood and oxygen flowing freely again. If you're dealing with that deep, bone-crushing fatigue or that awful brain fog, there's a very good chance that impaired circulation is a major culprit. Getting oxygen to your tissues is it's non-negotiable. Okay, so only after we start fixing circulation can we effectively start working on energy. Pillar 4 is about supporting your mitochondria, the little power plants inside your cells. But, and this is crucial, you can swallow every energy-boosting supplement on the planet, but if oxygen and nutrients can't get to your cells because of bad circulation, they can't make energy. It's that simple. Circulation has to come first.
And finally, Pillar 5. This is about getting your body's control panel back online. For a lot of people with long COVID, the autonomic nervous system, the part that controls all the automatic stuff like heart rate and blood pressure, goes haywire. You know that feeling when you stand up and get super dizzy, or your heart just starts racing for no reason? That's what we're talking about. This pillar is about gently retraining and recalibrating that system.
So those are the 5 pillars. But what does putting all this into practice actually look like? It's not about doing everything all at once. It's a journey. So let's take a look at the recovery roadmap.
Generally, recovery seems to happen in 3 phases. Phase 1 is just stabilize. Your only job is to calm the storm, focusing on Pillar 1. Then, once things are a bit calmer, you move to Phase 2, where you start targeting the root causes more directly, working on the circulation, the energy, and so on. Only then, once you have that foundation, can you move to Phase 3 and begin to carefully rebuild your strength.
Now, this might be the single most important piece of advice in this entire explainer. You cannot push through this. Pushing through fatigue and trying to power through your day like you used to, it's the fastest way to have a major setback. You have to learn to listen to your body. And remember, recovery is not a straight line. There will be good days and bad days. That's just part of the process. And that leads us right into the common mistakes that can really trip you up. Don't fall for any magic bullet promises. Definitely don't jump back into intense exercise too soon. And please, don't underestimate the power of the simple things, like sleep and managing stress. At the end of the day, this is your journey, and a one-size-fits-all approach just isn't going to work.
All right, let's bring it all home. Let's put this all together into a clear, actionable strategy that you can take away from this.
So here it is, the core logic in its simplest form. For every major problem long COVID creates, from the immune system chaos to the energy crisis, there is a corresponding, targeted pillar of the solution. This is proof that what you're feeling is real, it's biological, and it shows that a structured, comprehensive approach is the key to getting better.
So if you remember just one thing from all of this, let it be this. To truly get better, you have to stop chasing individual symptoms. Real, lasting recovery comes from a coordinated, multi-target strategy that gets to the underlying root causes of the whole condition.
This framework is your map. It shows that recovery isn't just a vague hope, it's possible with the right strategy. So the question now is, what's your first step? What is one small, manageable thing you can do today to begin that stabilization phase? Because that's where the journey back to health really begins.